So Something Wicked This Way Comes by Ray Bradbury is the best book I've ever found to read during the fall. Here's why. First is the setting. The book is set in mid-20th century small town America in the Midwest just before Halloween. This is Norman Rockwell's America. It's the land of nostalgia, of archetypes. It's the kind of place that a lot of us wish we could visit, even if it never really existed. The book is about these two 13-year-old boys who are best friends who live in the town, and their encounter with this sinister traveling carnival. There's just no better premise for a book set in the autumn. Next up is the writing. And if it's around October 20th and everything's smoky smelling and the sky orange and ash gray at twilight, it seems Halloween will never come in a fall of broomsticks and a soft flap of bed sheets around corners. But one strange, wild, dark, long year, Halloween came early. There's stuff like that on every page of this book. The imagery sticks in your mind, and a lot of it's very beautiful and a lot of it's dark. It reminds you to hold on to this season as it fades into winter. Reading prose like this is good for me because it forces me to stop trying to read so fast and start concentrating and contemplating the words I'm reading. And that's been something I'm trying to do lately. I'm trying to stop focusing on getting through so many books and just focus on what I am reading and getting the most out of it. And this book is great for that. The next reason why this book is good for the fall is that it's scary. Some of the things that happen to certain characters and some of the images that this book will leave in your head will haunt you. And not only that, but the themes that the book deals with, the passing of time, kids entering a hostile world for the first time, friendships being threatened, even the coming of death. It's all scary stuff, and it's scary in a real life kind of way, not just a horror kind of way. Then there's the story itself. This book just tells a great story. The plot is weird and unpredictable, and things happen that I could not have imagined, and that, frankly, I can't imagine anyone predicting. The characters are real and vulnerable and flawed, and their vulnerability just makes the dangers that they encounter scarier. Some books are right for certain times of life. I read this book for the first time as a teenager, and though I liked it, I missed a lot of it. I didn't have the life experience yet to really get the full impact of it. Reading it now, many, many years later, it's a whole different experience. The book talks a lot about the joy and adventure of youth and how impermanent it is, and all that stuff hits harder when you don't have it anymore. I definitely don't want to discourage young people from reading Something Wicked This Way Comes because it's awesome, but I'd encourage you to come back and reread it later in life. This is a book that you can do that with. You can come back and reread it over and over. And though this is only my second reading, I have a feeling that each time you come back, this book gets a little different. This book to me is the definition of bittersweet. And I'm talking about truly bittersweet. Nowadays, when people say bittersweet, a lot of times what they mean is just bitter. The sweet part is de-emphasized. But this book is bittersweet in the sense that it intertwines joy and sadness so that taking one of them away would lessen the experience. Something Wicked This Way Comes is dark, but it doesn't leave you feeling bad. It's scary, but the scariness is not what you come away with remembering most. Coming away from this book, I felt enriched and like I was honestly a better person for having read it. So altogether, I would wholeheartedly recommend this book. It shows the potential of fantasy and horror and genre literature to be literature. It is fantasy and it's horror, but like with the best books, those terms don't do it justice. I totally recommend it in this season or in any season. Thanks for watching this, guys. If you want to hear more about reading and writing fantasy and genre literature, give me a subscribe, a like. Thanks again. Peace.